It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
I think this may be the saddest one, Brian, because the statistics we're going to share here are a little alarming. And so we want to talk about how you can build wealth, reach financial independence, but ultimately, how do you leave a successful financial legacy and instead of letting it fall to the dark side?
If you want to know the biggest boogeyman hiding under the bed of wealthy parents, it's how do I not screw my kids up?
Yep.
I mean, you see it, and but let's give them some shock and awe here with some stats, Bo.
So if you've listened to this for any amount of time, you've seen these stats. But if you think about your pizza pie, you're building up wealth right now, and you have this 100% of the pizza pie. Well, statistically, 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the second generation. So 70% of wealthy families, all the hard work you put in, all the money that you built up, is wiped out by the second generation. Taking that even a step further, 90% lose their wealth by the third generation.
It's so sad. And this is because I usually, taking a negative and turning it positive, I constantly tell people, and I hold this out as an exciting thing, is that depending upon which research study you look at, from the Millionaire Next Door, I think it was like 86%. Everyday Millionaires, it was 80%. And then the next Millionaires Next Door, Sarah's update to her father's research, it was well north of 80%. Is millionaires by numbers, if you look at the total population of who millionaires are, over 80% are first generation. So that's actually exciting for everybody who's out there. You don't come from money like us. You're like, this means the door is open. I can get my foot into the opportunity of creating a 7-figure of wealth for my family through financial independence. But there has to be a negative to that stat. And it really is that pizza pie that we just showed, is because in order for 80% plus to be first generation millionaires, that means there's a lot of wealth that's going down the drain of life.
That's exactly right. And I think what's so funny is on the financial journey, what I have found, Brian, that most folks, they make a transition from the positive thought to the negative thought. I mean, you've been there. We talked about, man, it's so awesome that we can build this thing. And as we've had some success, now we're thinking about, oh man, how do we train our kids well to not screw this up?
And that's why we talk about doing the matching contributions and other things, so because you can really start some things young to hopefully help out. So here's the money guy tips. You got to quit swimming upstream. You got to help the kids focus on experiences rather than things. I mean, because it's just bad.
Yeah, and we try to be very, and because sometimes this happens outside of our control, we try to be very careful in like our kids and how we like give them presents and that kind of stuff. But sometimes you can't control that because the grandparents and others. So one of the things that we've said is every year for our kids' birthdays, we're going to alternate. One year we do like a party and presents, and the next year, because they're born in the same month, we do a trip. Yeah. And I'm hoping that by doing that, we can enforce that the experiences that we're able to generate and the memories we're able to have as a family matter way more than the gifts that you're going to get that are going to be old and in the garage a month from now.
Because memories blossom. I said that multiple times. They get better with age. That's why, you hear all the country songs and everything else about enjoy the kids and the poopy diapers because they'll be gone in a split second. But here's the thing, and I can say this even about bad things like even the passing of my father. He went through, leukemia that drained a man who weighed 270 down to less than 100 pounds. And you lose all that negative stuff. You only remember the memories blossom. The same thing happens with your kids. So focus on experiences because that builds memories. Things, I don't care how nice the car you buy, unless you're in there buffing it out and cleaning it up, it's going to start having decay and rot. Things get old. I mean, it's so funny of what you can go buy. Even like millionaire estates, the land is valuable. But if you go into what, J.R. Ewing from Dallas had in the 80s, you'd walk in and go, oh my gosh, that color scheme. I mean, it's just true about things. So focus on experiences. Underindulge. This is something full-time equivalent Daniel talks about all the time when we're in show meetings, is that if you can not go out to eat so much that your kids don't appreciate it anymore, or the stuff, don't do things too much that it becomes a given versus an exciting event for you and your family. and then spend on someone else or volunteer on someone else. That is so powerful.
We always, it's common sense or not. It's common knowledge that it's better to give than to receive. That's something. If you are wealthy and you have resources, but you can show your children how you use those resources for the benefit of others, that's going to leave a way deep, remarkable impression on them. And you don't even know how much of an impression that's going to leave until later on in life. It's a huge thing if you can start that at an early age.
There was a big, because this ties into an earlier show we did on money and happiness and the relationship. And there was a big takeaway. If you want to go watch the full show, I cite all the research, where the research came from. But this is where the 75,000 came from and all these other things. But there was a key takeaway from this research project. They were trying to figure out who were the people that were the most fulfilled with money, had the best relationship. There were 4 key traits, and we wanted to kind of close the show out with this. Number 1 was faith. And when they said faith, now look, they didn't go into any denomination or different belief. They just said thinking of things not of this world can actually be a humbling yet centering, and as well as give you clarity on understanding what you're doing. Number 2 was family. We've already heard that in today's show, is that you have to have a solid family. The more relationships, as you cited in the research, 5 or more relationships, you were more than double likelihood of increasing, being very happy. Number 3, community. Being charitable to others is very powerful. That works with the kids too. And then number 4, work. You might as well, since you're going to spend the majority of your life doing this, you might as well really like what you're doing and feel like every day you're making things better by doing the work that you're doing.
I think if you can instill these ideas in the next generation, in your kids, there's a good chance you won't be one of those statistics. There's a good chance yours won't be part of the 70% that squanders the first generation.
Now, I put in here an outro, and it's got a slide, and I want you to go through this pretty quick, Bo, because I put this on purpose, is that after I did the show prep, after we wrote the show notes for this, I was like, wow, that is full circle to something that has really helped me out in my life. I have it back here on the shelf, is The Millionaire Next Door. And then we had, Dr. Stanley's daughter on, Sarah, because she's also a doctorate, UGA, go Dogs. And Sarah's brilliant too. And she wrote the next Millionaire Next Door that we've covered. But these were the 7, if you think about, these were the 7 factors of what creates millionaires. What do they have in common? Go through these really quick, Bo.
Yeah, so what we determined, or what the research determined, was that number 1, they live below their means. That's a common trait of millionaires. Number 2, they allocate their time, energy, and money efficiently. They understand the value of what they do and how and why they do it. Number 3, financial independence is more important than displaying high social status, so they don't try to keep up with the Joneses or constantly swim upstream. Number 4, their parents did not provide economic outpatient care.
There's that underindulging. I know that's hard. We want to give our kids everything, but it shows. This is what leads to it. Keep going.
Number 5, probably because of that, their adult children are economically self-sufficient. They are officially off of mom and dad's payroll. Number 6, they are proficient in targeting market opportunities. They recognize opportunities that present itself. And then number 7, they chose the right occupation.
Like I said, you're going to spend a lot of time at work. And here's the thing. What's funny is because we've done fire episodes, and I've shared some of these. When I was 25, I said, when I was like 16, I said, when I'm 25, I'm going to buy a Corvette. I got a 25. I had no desire to buy a Corvette. And it was the same thing. When I started working in the job, I was like, I'm going to save enough money and that's why as we get closer, we'll be at 2025 in no time. I remember thinking that around 2025, I don't want to work anymore. I told myself that when I first started work. I know, don't worry. And I think a lot of fire people fall in this too. Guys, I'm quickly approaching the age I'll be at 2025. Have no desire of slowing down. Because you just, if you choose well and you actually are working a job that you feel like it checks those boxes of fulfillment, that you are making the world a better place, you really will. What is it? Warren Buffett talks about whistling on or tap dancing to work.
Tap dance to work. Yep.
And then, or whistle while you work, like the 7 Dwarfs do. There's a reason that those things are out there in pop culture, is because if you will enjoy it, it's full circle to what we were talking about. And this is we have a deliverable that we wanted to tell everybody, go out to moneyguy.com. We just want you to register with your all you have to do, everything is completely free. We just want your email address so we know who you are, know where you live. So in case we start going out, taking this thing on the road, we know where everybody is. But tell them about that deliverable, Bo.
Yeah, if you go out to moneyguy.com and go to the resource page, we actually have in there a free deliverable for you. It's the portrait of today's millionaire. It tells you what a millionaire actually looks like. So maybe you can learn a little bit about some of the traits that they exhibit to say, okay, maybe those are some traits that I should exhibit to also move in that direction, and see what you can learn from this. This is completely free. It's out there available. We have tons of resources. We are constantly adding to our resource page. If you've not checked it out, go out there, moneyguy.com, resources, and check out the portrait of today's millionaire.
So you're at the end of the show. If this is, I know we pick up new first timers every show we do. You're like, wait a minute. This is the end of the show. Where's the catch? I kept waiting for it. Nope. The catch is this is called the abundance cycle, guys. When you come here, we want you to learn, apply, grow, and we just know we sprinkle enough water of knowledge on you, you're going to reach a level of success that you couldn't even daydream about when you started this journey, but you will reach it. And you're going to say, hey, I can't do this on my own. I'm too busy. I'm also the just how big the materiality of these decisions scares me to death. I need to bring in somebody to help. We're hoping that's where you'll remember where you got all the great knowledge for all the years, because we've been doing this. I had somebody pick on us because we said 2 decades. We've been doing this since 2006, so we are in our 2nd decade. We have not been doing this 2 decades, but we have been planting seeds long enough with the abundance cycle that you guys who have graduated college are now leaders or starting companies, and then we have people who maybe were in mid-level management but now are running the show who are reaching out. The abundance cycle works. We want you to come apply, learn, and grow. Reach out. You can go to moneyguy.com, Abound Wealth. We have contact us pages that tell you the next steps.
If you haven't checked out our live streams, every other Tuesday we live stream a show just like this, and at the end we do some Q&As where we are going to answer some questions for you guys. We're going to give away some tumblers. It's the only way that you can get a tumbler right now. You can't even buy this in the merchandise store because we don't have a merchandise store.
No merch store. Once again, abundance cycle. We're not doing very good at maximizing profit anywhere else. So go check it out.
So make sure you stay tuned for the Q&A. Come hang out with us. We're happy to be a resource for you guys. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this. We love you guys, and we will talk to you soon.
Money Guy team, out.